Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Let's jump on into it. So, did Steve Sarkisian, the Texas Longhorn head coach, did he disrespect Texas Tech? That's what we're going to be talking about. So, I guess on May 21st, Steve Sarkisian was doing a speaking engagement at a fan event in Houston. When although he didn't name Texas Tech directly, he took a shot at him, and all of the college football world knows it. The sports media knows it. The internet knows it, and it turned into a wildfire, and pretty much got Texas Tech very riled up. So I'm gonna go ahead and read you Steve Sarkisian's his quote. I'm gonna read you his quote. So it says, Steve Sarkisian did not mention the Red Raiders specifically when speaking at a fan event in Houston last week, but said, "There's a team in our state in another conference with a schedule that I would argue if I played with our seconds and thirds, we could go undefeated, and they'll probably make the college football playoffs this year." So he was pretty much saying that the Longhorns, their second and third stringers, could go and form their own separate team and play the schedule that Texas Tech got, and would go undefeated and would make the college football playoffs just upcoming 2026 season. But Steve Sarkisian was not going to take a shot at Texas Tech and not expect to get some back in return. So this is what Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire had to say. Now, at a Big 12 spring meeting on Thursday, Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire said he talked to the head coaches of Abilene Christian and Texas State, the respective Week 1 opponents for the Red Raiders and the Longhorns, about buying out those contracts. In their place, Texas Tech could play Texas in Lubbock, or at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, and Texas State and Abilene Christian could play each other. We can figure this out. Their 2s and 3s can win this conference, McGuire said. So McGuire pretty much said, "Yo, let's do it." He's already been proactive. He's already taken the steps. He's called those schools. I don't know what those schools have said in return, but he's called them and said, "Hey, we'll buy you out." And a lot of times those smaller schools, they play these big schools because Texas and Texas Tech have way more money than these schools like Abilene Christian and Texas State. And so this is a way for these teams to get some money to come into the school and into their athletic program. And then this is also a way for the big schools to have what I call a preseason game. So me personally, not wanting to jump in too far into it, I would love to see this happen because I think that every big team, the Texas Techs, the LSU's, the Ohio States, the Alabamas, they should open the season versus another tough opponent and not play these I hate to say it, but these cupcake teams. Now, there has continued to be more shots taken back at Texas now by Texas Tech head coach. He's saying we would love to play Texas in Week 1. There was something else that I seen where that was pretty much it. So he went, he called both of those teams and said, "Hey, we'll buy you out." Now, I looked at the history of Texas Tech versus Texas, and Texas leads the all-time series with 55-18 record. So Texas has a pretty big gap in the series versus the two teams. They started playing each other they first played each other in 1928, facing off annually from 1960 through their final Big 12 matchup in 2023, which Texas won 57-7. Just recently though, Texas Tech did get a win. So in 2023, Texas was largely controlling the rivalry in the modern era. Texas Tech famously pulled off a 37-34 overtime upset in Lubbock in 2022. Sorry. So, But most recently, uh, Texas Texas won. So Texas won in 2023, and Texas Tech pulled off a pretty good comeback in 2022. But overall, it the series has not been competitive. I'm sorry. Texas has won it 55 times compared to Texas Tech only winning versus Texas 18 times. So it has not been very competitive. But um, I would ask that question if they did play week one. Would who do y'all think would win? Texas Tech doesn't even. I don't know. I don't even know if Texas Tech knew who's going to be their starting quarterback because Brendan Sorsby, checked himself into a rehab because he had a gambling addiction. I think he's out now, but the NCAA said that they're not going to reinstate his eligibility. Now I know his legal team, Brendan Sarsby's legal team, is suing the NCAA to get reinstatement, but as of a few days ago, the NCAA said there was not going to reinstate Brendan Sorsby. So I don't know. I don't know who Texas Tech's starting quarterback is going to be. So they probably should just stick with the team that they're going to be playing because it's probably going to be a lot of figuring it out with a quarterback who y'all was not planning on going into the season with. But the more the fan side of me of college football would love to see these two teams play because, like I said earlier, I just think that it's just very boring when you're just been sitting on the couch waiting for college football to come back around, and then these teams are playing these cupcakes. I'm an LSU fan. LSU has always pretty much stepped up to the plate to start the season versus a very strong, difficult opponent. They did it last year versus Clemson. They're doing it again versus Clemson. But a lot of other teams should do the same thing and not play these these cupcake teams. But Sark took the shot at Texas Tech, got Texas Tech fired up. Texas Tech has been very adamant about saying that they would play Texas, and so the ball is in Sark's court. Is Sark gonna accept the challenge, or is Sark gonna try to walk it down? I was looking around. I don't know if Steve said anything like in response. When you do a Google search, the only thing that you see is Texas talking about Texas Tech talking about what they want to do. So y'all let me know in the comments. Do y'all think that Texas and Texas Tech should play each other? And if so, who you think would win that week one match? As always, I appreciate everyone that supports the channel, whether leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And as always, stay safe and be blessed.